Okay, so let's go into your reading here. So let me just talk about this first. I feel almost as if the past 10 months. So let's talk about the past 10 months. Your financial wealth, your empire has been, building, growing, and things like that. So you've been accumulating money. You've been pretty smart about money, making wise career choices, making wise work choices, as well as taking on additional projects. That's going to bring about a lot of financial abundance for you. The past 10 months, you were at a point where you had disposable income. You started building up your wealth. You started budgeting, and you started, really taking good care of your money and not spending frivolously. So I feel like you're at a point here where you have enough money to invest. You have enough money to splurge. Okay. I don't feel that you are too extravagant with money, but I feel like you understand the value of hard work, and you understand that it sometimes take a little bit of time to get our financial footing. And I feel like you're coming into this month with quite a bit of a financial abundance, but also disposable income and having money in the bank. And I feel like a lot of you are looking at, purchasing new vehicles, purchasing new items. And I'm seeing like vehicles, cars, electronics, bicycles, even, the motorbikes, especially if you have children, or even like for yourself as like it seems to me as like a little bit of a thrill seeking thing that you do on the side, like a hobby, or just something that you want to feel, that makes you feel alive again. There's an element of risk associated with it as well. So I feel like you are planning to divert your funds to do something, either, buying big ticket items, rewarding yourself and things like that. What I'm also feeling is there are unexpected financial investments, or spending happening for this month, something that you didn't anticipate. So at the beginning of the month, it's not good for you to splurge on anything. Okay, so I feel like for this month, there should be a spending freeze until something is like absolutely necessary for either work or for everyday expenses. But I feel like you need to be very careful about not buying anything, especially big ticket items for this month, especially electronics. And so there's going to be some unexpected expenditures, and I feel like it might be in the 3,000-4,000 range. Okay, up to like 7,000. So just keep that in mind and try not to minimize, your spending a lot. Okay, just try not to do any big ticket item purchases for this month overall. And with that coming in, it's going to be a little bit difficult to part with your hard-earned money, but you're going to need to, because I feel like it's coming to an official channel. So it's coming from you to an official channel. So either paying back a huge loan, paying back student loans for some of you, paying back like I feel like it's going back through like an official channel. So it's money that is siphoned off and going back to its source where it rightfully belongs. Okay. And so it's going to hurt just a little bit. And I feel like you work really hard and you wanted to have this disposable income, but there's something unexpected coming through here for this month. For a lot of you, it might just be taxes. If you're in the States, it's tax season in April. So for some of you, it might just be, taxes. And then for others of you, paying back something that has been like kind of like a heavy cloud over your head. And after you pay it off, you're going to feel very empowered. You're going to feel very free. Okay. So the next thing that's coming through and that speaks out very loudly to me is the relationships. So let's talk about that, because I get a little bit of a funny message. So first of all, what we have in the relationship sector, and this is romance. Let's talk about romance first, because this screams out romance to me. We have here the Five of Wands. This is a situation where you have like this, I almost feel like this love-hate relationship with another person. You can't live with them, can't live without them. And there's intense chemistry, strong chemistry, but lack of compatibility. Okay, so overall, you say one thing, they interpret it as another, and they say one thing, you interpret it as something else. So I feel like, the communication flows well. There's a lot of exchange. There's a lot of emotional and mental, connections. But overall, the things that you mean and the things that they mean are completely different. And so, working together as a unit has been quite difficult for you guys the past 5 months. but I feel like things are starting to harmonize. You start to learn how to navigate each other's energy. So, a relationship starts out as like a dance. Somebody leads, somebody either follows or tries to lead. And so, it can create like a little bit of a clumsy energy in that honeymoon stage. And so after 5 months time, I feel like it's sufficient time for you to know how to navigate each other's energies. And so you're working together as a unit. I feel like little minor annoyances is still in the picture. And I feel like you're somewhat amused by this person because they might be a little bit clumsy. I feel like you're dealing with someone who's a little bit like childlike and a little bit clumsy and a little bit inexperienced. So there's that a little bit of an embarrassment when you have to talk to them about certain things. So that's what I'm getting with this card here. It's not a bad energy at all. And I feel like with it in the reverse, it basically means that conflict is alleviated, okay? Conflict subsiding, you're working together harmoniously and not at cross purposes with one another anymore. And I also feel this element of competition. So I feel like you're dealing with somebody who is a little bit competitive. So, for example, I'm getting this message. Let's just say that you might have had taken a break from each other, right? And then the other person says, so how many people have you been dating? And then you say, well, what about you? How many people have you been dating? So I feel like it's a playful, competitive energy, kind of like that. And there's a little bit of a holding a grudge here, but I feel like it's harmless. I feel that it is innocent. And overall, I feel like there is a lot of harmony being restored, brought back into the relationship. So two people no longer working at cross purposes with one another and agreeing on a course of action. I feel like, once again, you're spending a lot of your time either asking about the other person, talking to the other person, spending a majority of your time interacting with them. So I feel like you are giving yourself to the other person. Okay, you're making sure that they're eating right. You're making sure that they're healthy. You're making sure that they're happy. And so I feel like it's also being reciprocated here, because you're giving them this and you feel like, oh, I'm not giving them that much, but I feel like what you're getting back is this. Here we have the Ace of Cups, which is basically, love handed to you on the Holy Grail. And I feel like it's a situation where whatever you put in, you're being rewarded tenfold. So this person honestly really, really cares about you. And I feel like you know that, and you feel very safe in their presence, because you know that whatever you're giving out here, it's basically being reciprocated tenfold. This is a pretty big cup, okay? And so your emotional needs are definitely met in this relationship. And I feel like you might feel like, oh, I'm just doing the bare minimum, but you're getting a lot back, okay? So I feel like somebody really, really cares about you here, and you're with the right relationship partner, because I feel that your everyday activities are basically revolves around the other person. And I feel the same way with them, okay? So this is a very, very good connection that I'm seeing here. The other message that I have here, and it coincides with the driving situation, so I want you to once again be careful. And it's shown up here in the upright position. But I'm sensing that because it's in the finance house, there's going to be a huge influx of money. And I feel like by the summer time frame, June, July, August specifically, there's going to be a major uptick in your financial situation. But once again, be careful about the car. For those of you, the car picture keeps coming up. So I don't know if recently you have gotten in an accident, like in the March timeframe, and you're shopping for a new car. But I do see new vehicles coming through, and a lot of major expenditures as well, such as car payments, higher rates of insurance because it's a new vehicle. So all of that coming through. But I do feel like around the summer timeframe, your financial situation is going to escalate. So it's going to get better and better for you guys. Okay. So finances, it's a little bit difficult to part with a huge chunk of money this month, but overall things are, it's going to start to fill up again. Your savings is going to start to increase incrementally until the summer time frame, and it might just start taking off. Okay. So you have some really positive things when it comes to your financial situation. I do feel here there is a little bit of a communication breakdown within your household. So, what I feel is like they're saying, first of all, especially if you are living with other people, roommates, even like elderly parents that are living with you, or elderly parents that that belongs to your partner. I feel like it's a little bit of a crowded environment, and I feel like you might not have that peace of mind that you're hoping for. So first of all, we have here, this is a card about lack of cooperation, and it shows up with the Three of Cups in the reverse. Three of Cups in the reverse. Harsh words being exchanged in the family environment. So I feel like, somebody's giving someone else the dose of the truth, and they might not want to hear it. And the truth might be a little bit harsh or a little bit hurtful. And I also feel a situation where in the housing environment, somebody is not taking care of their responsibilities. Okay, so if you have housemates, for example, let's say, you have a chore list, and Tuesday, Laura is supposed to wash the dishes, and, she's reneging on her responsibilities. Or like there is a responsibility that clearly belongs to one person, but they're not doing their fair share to, manage their responsibility. So I feel that coming through. Be very patient with other people. Of course, it's really important to remind other people, because I feel like you're dealing with somebody who is a little bit overindulgent. They have the time, but they might shirk their responsibilities because they don't want to put in the work. Okay, so you're dealing with somebody like that in your home environment. I feel for some of you, it might be siblings. I feel like for some of you, very strong siblings vibe coming through here, and roommates come through. As well as, I see like, young, like teenage kids. And I don't feel like they're going to be 15 and younger. I feel like they're older than 15. It's like they should know better, but they're not holding up their end of the bargain. And so your instinct is, to get mad. And I feel like that might create defensiveness from their end. And so it's really important for you to just remind them, okay? Say it once in the morning, say it once at night, and then you can get mad if you choose to. But I feel like they should know better. They're old enough, but they're not really taking care of their responsibilities. And especially if you have a tendency of stepping in the past to take care of the responsibilities rather than confronting them with it, they're gonna, expect you to do the work, and just be really careful about that. Okay. There's going to be a lot of communication coming through this month when it comes to projects and when it comes to financing. So I don't know if you guys, some of you are in a position where you are looking for financiers. You're looking for people to be on board with a specific project, but there's going to be a lot of discussions. There's going to be a lot of tweaking, refining, honing in on, redoing, redrawing something. So I'm seeing like literally some of you are sitting at a draft table, and there's like, that the carbon copies of something. I see like contracts. I also see like a drawing, like a blueprint for something. It's going to need to be redone. It's going to need to be redrawn so that it meets the requirement. Okay. So contracts, whatever has been drawn up, I feel like it needs to be revisited so that you can move ahead. And I also feel like in your work environment, it seems like the environment is a little bit crowded. A lot of people, too many people involved, offering their inputs as well. So it's going to feel a little bit claustrophobic, but I feel like you are approaching work in a very lighthearted way. And I also feel as well, there's going to be a lot of pleasantries in your work environment. interacting with pleasant people, feeling as if you're not going to be too busy that you can't really enjoy, taking a longer lunch, longer breaks, and just interacting with people. So the energy for this month is very lighthearted, and I feel like the lighthearted energy is permeating from your relationship sector. When that is going really well, all the other things in your life don't seem to matter so much. And money seems to be coming in like a huge spike of money. So I feel like things are going well. So even though there might be this minor irritation when it comes to the work environment, having to redo things and having to, I guess, I'm seeing some of you dashing from place to place to gather material, okay? So driving back and forth to different work locations, getting materials, but feeling quite good because I feel like you have some really good things here in your relationship sector, and I feel like that's making you, whistle at work. It's making you feel quite good. So overall, so that's what I'm seeing here. The other message that I have here for you is I'm seeing some of you are making great strides and great traction in your career. And I feel a lot of it is attributed to the fact that you know how to be very accommodating. You know how to speak to people so that you become very relatable. And I also feel like you know how to, it's sort of like put people at ease or make people feel at ease around you. You have a really good knack about doing that. Like you guys are really good at that, water signs in general. I've seen it with Cancers where they're very, very likable. And I've seen it with Pisces where they know how to connect to other people on an emotional level. But like with Scorpios, when you interact with somebody, no matter who it is, they feel like they're the only one in the room with you. And I feel like you have a really good, you're apt about doing that. And you do it in a way where the other person feels as if no matter what, you've got their back, that you really listen to what they have to say. So I feel like your people skills, even though you might not even like people, even though you'd rather, work on a deserted island and be okay, I feel like your people skills is getting you where you are right now professionally. And at the same time, I'm sensing that for some of you, it's almost like learning to accommodate other people, knowing how to, make light of a situation so that people are not stressed out, knowing the right thing to say in a specific environment to de-escalate conflict and tension. And all of these qualities are allowing you to rise ahead in your work environment. So they're saying there's going to be a breakthrough, a major, major change happening for you in the career sector, okay? And you've learned the skills to gradually, climb that ladder and to get yourself where you're going to be in a position of power and where you're going to be exactly where you need to go. However, with the Judgment card in the reverse position, there is a little bit of a delay. And so I feel like something needs to finish up first. And a lot of it is like a decision-making process. It's dependent upon many, many people. So you might have to go in front of like a panel, a review board, or even a board of directors, or even like a major interview process in order for you to get there. But the decision is made between many people. So I feel like there's a little bit of a delay. For some of you, I feel like major traction in your career happening towards possibly for this month, but also I'm seeing that October time frame. Okay, so like the end of this year, right before, when the sun comes into your constellation, so that's going to be late October, I feel like that's when you're going to be able to implement this major new career move, okay? So wealth is building up slowly. Your emotional life, I feel like some of you might be involved here with another water sign. So this is another Scorpio, a Pisces, or a Cancer, and I feel like this person is bringing a lot of faith, a lot of love, and a really soft, buoyant energy. I feel like it's very soft and it's very reassuring and it's very in sync with yours. If you're dealing with somebody who's also different, I feel like there might be that series of like ebb and flow, you know, like a little bit of conflict, make up, and then conflict, and then you kiss and make up. But I feel that this is going to be a very dynamic month. A lot of different things are happening across the board, and I don't see any major blockages coming through from your end. What I really like to see here is this Ace of Cups, which basically means that, you know, you're going to feel very emotionally fulfilled this month. You're going to feel very proud is what I'm sensing. You're going to feel like you don't have to push things along, that things naturally flow the way that you'd like. And also, because of these two characters showing up, they might be, it seems like, you know, whatever misconnections you've had in the past, I feel like you're going to be going to either reconcile or rekindle with one another. Okay, so I feel that it is going to be a very good month, Scorpio. So take heed when I mention about the car. That came out very strongly. Okay, and I feel like it came out for Cancers as well. So please be careful about driving.